Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, June 30th of 2024. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives that create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. This is the final Sunday of our 5 Sundays in June and the final final day. Is it the final day? I think so. Of our Father's Day um, month here in the United States. And this is the final in the series of lessons and blessings from living with my father, as one of my friends calls them blessings. Um, Today we're going to talk about that existential question. I started out with just, compassionate listening, really making that heart connection and listening with the ear of your heart and with the ear of inquiry into, what is it in them that really wants to be heard, that wants to be, that they didn't have the personal development as a part of their culture in the way that we do. And a lot of times when we find our elderly telling the same story over and over and over again, there's a reason for it. There's something there that is needing to be expressed and really be heard. We all know how healing that can be to really be heard. Today, we're introducing or focusing on compassionate listening from a different perspective. Now, listening from that ear of inquiry, why has your soul agreed to travel this journey with this person's soul, right? Why did the two of you come in together in a soul cluster at this time? What are you here to really learn from each other and give to each other and share with each other on the soul level, right? And I'll tell you a story before we jump in because it's such a beautiful story. There's a little girl that, that I knew and worked with. It's been many years now, but at the time she was 6.5 years old, and she remembered what it was like being in the womb, and she told her mother what it was like being in the womb and how when you're in the womb, you can go back, right? You haven't fully integrated into the body and started to forget in the way that we do when we're here and we forget that whole existence, right? But you can go between the veils, between the realms. And as she said, if you get scared, you can ask questions. You can go back and ask questions. She said they show you a movie of your whole life before you come here. And her mother asked her, really? And you got scared? Well, what happened? And she's like, Mom, you get to see everything. And they show you a movie of your whole life before you come here. And Mom says, really? Well, it's scary if you don't like it. Can you change it? And she says, no, Mom, God has it all worked out. You have to come here. It's like going to school and you have lessons. And Mom says, really? She says, well, do you remember the movie? And she says, no, Mom, that would be like going on a treasure hunt when you already know the treasure. Okay. 6 years old said that. That would be like going on a treasure hunt when you already know the treasure. And then here's another beautiful thing is that she was able to remember who her friends were on the soul plane, right? And not that it was a thing of the past, this whole time space thing, that everything is sequential. It wasn't sequential. She talked about agreeing with her brother on who would come in first. And at first he was going to come in, but then he got scared and decided he didn't want to come in. So he, um, actually her mother, which she didn't know at the time, her mother had had a miscarriage and it was a boy. And so she decided she was going to come in first and then he was going to come in after. She had a little brother that was 3 years younger than her. And she also talked about friends that were people they were friends with on the other realm, in the other realm, that uh, they knew in body here. So there's this whole thing beyond. And so like let's take this opportunity in this meditation today to really like let go of our confinement and constriction into this time space sequential three-dimensional realm and let our minds just open and expand. What are the relationships that we have on the soul level beyond this realm? Right? In the Sufi teachings, we talk about the time when we're asleep is from this realm is really the time when we're awake, and that we are traveling and relating in the other realm, in the subtle realms. And this time where we think we're awake is actually the time when we're asleep. So, I'm going to invite you to really just let your mind let go of what you think you know, let your mind expand, and really drop into your heart. And I'll do a little guided practice to drop us into that space behind the heart, connecting with that breath that breathes us through the back of the heart space, and like resting into that, falling into that, and be open to receive information as you are connected with your elders, this has been about caring for our elderly, our connection with our parents. As you make that intention, if there's somebody else you want to connect with, that's fine as well. Make that intention to really receive and open to some expanded consciousness and awareness of why you're here traveling on this earth journey, on this earth plane, in this three-dimensional realm with this person, and what it is giving for your souls. Okay, so that's where we're going today. I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. Let's bring everything to face toward the center of the circle. Let our hearts meet as one, at the hub of the wheel, the very center, and together, one heart, one soul. We call on our source. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. And just imagine, perceive this pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle, streaming in. I feel overwhelmed with gratitude right now. I hope if that's flooding in for you, that you give yourself full permission to feel that, to bask in that. Just let this pure divine light stream in and fill all of the space around you, and let it fall on your skin, and let the pores of your skin just absorb this pure divine light in through your skin, into your tissues, and let it tingle your nerve endings and travel through your nervous system, all the way through your peripheral nervous system, through all its wiring, electrical wiring of your body. Let this pure divine light travel through, and let it make its way all the way into your central nervous system, your spinal column, and your brain, just cleansing and purifying any little loose ends that need to be cleansed and purified and restored, repaired. Just let that light have that effect in your body. And again, just focus on this pure divine light. You just trust in it and be open to it, and let your body receive, 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 receiving that pure divine light in through your pores. And let's also let that light, just notice that light as it comes in through the top of your head and streams through your body, comes in through the top, streaming through your body, and making its way all the way through your vertical core. Just imagine it coming in through the very top of your head in the center, and traveling through your body, halfway front to back, halfway side to side, right in the very center of the core of your body, and traveling through your head, through your neck, your throat, through your heart center, through your upper diaphragm, through your abdominal cavity, through your sacral center, and through your pelvic floor. And just let this pure divine light, again, it's like, my teacher used to talk about, so the outer meets the inner and the inner meets the outer, and then there is no inner or outer, there is only one. As it comes in and is absorbed through your pores and goes through your peripheral nervous system into your spinal column, and it also comes through the top of your head and infuses into the core of your body, right? It's like, let those meet in the middle and just run this pure divine light all the way through your body, that electrical circuitry, that light that runs through everything like electricity, really does connect us in so many ways, right? Connects the inner and the outer of our own beings and connects us with the electrical circuitry of the entire universe and the cosmos. And let's take a minute and just notice where your energy is, right? Just sometimes your energy is really expanded out. Sometimes it's behind you. Sometimes it's in front of you. Sometimes above you, below you. But just notice and just call to all the parts of yourself and inhale and draw all those pieces of yourself into this vertical core, into this core of light at the center of your being. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. And really feel yourself land into your hips and feel yourself anchor right into the center of your pelvic bowl. It's that center of gravity at the center of your sacral center, right? Kind of like if you imagine an egg shape and how the egg is wider at one end. It's an oval. Imagine that sitting into your pelvic bowl, and right where that center of gravity would be, just feel yourself kind of land into your hips and feel that center of gravity. Let yourself anchor into that center of gravity in your sacral center. And then let your conscious body kind of lean back into your spine. And let this light run through the core of your body and just experience it from that position inside your physical body. So again, inhale, draw all of your energy into your vertical core. As you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. Feel yourself anchor into that center of gravity at the center of your sacral center, your abdominal, right in your, beneath your belly button, about 4 fingers beneath your belly button, and then halfway front to back, halfway side to side, anchor in right there. Lean into your spine and feel that light, right? And when you lean back, keep your head straight. So it's not like leaning back and, with your head up. Keep it straight, looking straight ahead. So that light really runs through the top of your head and has like a straight line through your vertical core, right? And just rest there as best you can, letting that light flow through you, anchoring in, leaning into your spine, absorbing that light. And breathe that in and receive. And again, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love and turn your heart center to face right in front of you, face straight ahead, and let it tip up slightly. Again, maintaining the position in your body. Just let your heart center tip up and be like a funnel. and let this unconditional love flow in through this heart center and let it bathe your heart. Let your heart just be bathed with the most soothing, safe, loving, unconditional love. Just let that bathe your whole heart center. And no matter what your heart is feeling, sometimes it's like, it kind of, the heart gets so, boy, I lost the word, but it's, we protect, we spend so much time being busy and kind of guard the heart because we don't really have time to allow the heart to just be open and feel. We get, we kind of have to guard it a little bit and tighten it a little bit. And sometimes to feel that unconditional love come in and bathe the heart, it gives a soothing effect. But sometimes that letdown of the guard, as I speak with one of my nephews about decompressing, right? It's a decompressing that happens there that can sometimes feel like a little bit of a strain to let that down and let that go because it feels like perhaps there's a little bit of an emotional burst that wants to come out when you finally let that go. And it can, but just see if you can breathe through that, let that go. If there is an emotional burst that wants to come out, you can even make a sound or you can do some tapping around your heart center to help that loosen up. Take a deep breath, blow it out, whatever works for you. Sound is really good, just bringing like a sound in there, or even just a ah, ah, ah. Let that go. You can tap around like, with your fingers, tapping around your heart center. And a big breath. Exhale, let that tension go. And again, as you inhale, let this whole heart center be like a sponge as this water of unconditional love flows into that space. And just let it, you have that core of light that runs through the center of your body. Let this funnel of this unconditional love, let it flow all the way in through your body to meet that vertical core. And let that love pour in and that pure divine light and that unconditional love just mix at the core of your body. Again, it's not something you have to control. It's an allowing, just allowing that to come through. You can use your heart center like a breathing portal. Let that funnel be like a breathing portal. And as you inhale that unconditional love in through that center and let it come all the way into the depths. Breathing that in. And again, from here we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you, we ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion. And this essence of compassion, it is the ocean that surrounds you. It's the ocean of living consciousness that your entire being swims in and rests in and moves through, flows through. So let your entire being just rest into this ocean, into the ocean. I'll say my favorite poem again. The poet Rumi says, "These forms we seem to be are cups floating in an ocean of living consciousness. We think we are our bodies when we are in fact ocean, too near to see, though we swim in it and drink it in." He says, don't be the cup with the dry rim or one who rides all night, not realizing the horse beneath his thighs or the surge that carries him along. So let yourself rest into this ocean. Let yourself be held. Let yourself be carried, right? Let yourself be supported by this ocean. This is the ocean of living consciousness, and it is pure, existential, eternal compassion. It is eternal compassion that exists beyond this time-space realm. We talked at the beginning about the existence beyond the time and space realm. This eternal compassion encompasses that existence beyond the time and space realm. This is the ocean of living consciousness that is pure compassion. Compassion supporting you, loving you, holding you, accepting you, recognizing you, knowing you, and carrying you along. It is the surge that carries you along. Allah. So again, inhale, draw all of your energy into your vertical core. Exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl. Anchor into that center of gravity, the center of your sacral center. Lean into your spine with your head still looking straight ahead, the top of your head being kind of pulled up. And just letting yourself be held in pure, as this pure divine light flows through you, unconditional love fills you, and the eternal compassion holds you, loves you, supports you, and carries you along on your journey. And our topic for today, meeting with our loved ones, the elderly in our lives, or the youth in our life, if you are the elderly, wherever that may be, wherever you may be on that spectrum of life. Most of us have people, the younger and the older, that we love and that we connect with, that are also our biggest challenges in life, right? Because we agree to come in together, as I said at the beginning, right? We gave that example. The girl that we agree ahead of time, we're going to come in together, and here's, how we're going to do things. And in case you missed it, there was the girl that I mentioned that was a young girl, 6 years old, that remembered what it was like before she came in. She remembered being in the womb, and she talked about coming in together with her brother, that he was going to come first, but he got scared because you get to see everything and they show you a movie of your whole life. When you're in the womb, if you get scared, you can go back and forth between this realm and that realm, and you can ask questions, and you're still a part of that expanded consciousness, but you get to start to experience things through the womb and through the body, but you still have that expanded awareness. She hadn't forgotten, hadn't lost hers. She talked about, she and her brother agreed he was going to come in, or initially he was going to come in first, and then she was going to come in second a few years later. The mother was pregnant, ended up having a miscarriage. She said that he got scared. She didn't know her mother had had a miscarriage. There'd never been that conversation. She got scared. I mean, her brother got scared and went back. So she agreed that she would come in first and he would come in a few years later. She was 6, he was 3. So, and she talked about the friendships that they had on the soul plane, right? In the other realm of consciousness, though she didn't use this language, but just on the other side, where they had friends that were people that they knew in body here, that different, they had soul friendships, I'll call it. So we have agreements to come in and travel together. And we're here, as she said, her mother said, well, the movie, is it scary? If you don't like it, can you change it? And she said, no, Mom, God has it all worked out. And you have to come here because it's like learning lessons. It's like going to school and you have to learn lessons. So it's all worked out. We come in with agreements. We have things that we're here. We're here to learn together, to teach each other, to show each other, to share with each other, to experience together, right? And it takes, as we say, it takes a village. It takes a village to create these scenes that we're really here to learn from and to experience together. So imagine yourself now. Let's see if you can just, like, staying in this position in your body. Let me just have you, before we go there, just lean back into that space behind your heart. You have that space behind your heart. And lean back into that space behind your heart. And just focus your breath, direct your breath into your back body, it's like kind of right at your spine. And imagine this breath coming in from the back of your heart center, like flowing in, breathing you through the back of your heart and into your body. And just direct your breath, focus your breath back there and behind, like imagine your heart in the center and then your spine behind it. And just let your consciousness drop into that space behind your heart and in front of your spine. And feel that breath that breathes through the back of your body into your heart. And let yourself drop in and rest into that space. And let your breath, your physical breath, kind of come into a resonance with that breath that breathes you. Just drop in and rest into that space and let yourself synchronize with that breath that breathes you and feel that breath coming in if you can, and just rest there and breathe. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And breathe. And now imagine yourself at the soul level, kind of sitting in a circle with the souls of the people that you want to connect with right now. And just imagine yourself like in a little powwow circle with these souls. And in this place, just see if you can let go of the physical. Let go of the physical constraints of this realm. Let go of the physical constraints. Let go of the mental constraints. And just be. Be in this ocean of living consciousness, this eternal compassion, sitting in a powwow circle with your cluster of souls that you've come here to have relationship with and to travel with on this earth journey, to learn what you're here to learn, experience what you're here to experience, give what you're here to give, share what you're here to share, just to be with and travel with. As you rest into that. And first off, just notice who shows up. If you have, as I've been talking about my elder father this month, if you have someone, a parent, and they don't have to still be alive. It's okay if they've passed on. But if you have someone that you want to just connect with, you can make an intention or a prayer or an invitation. And just give you some time to just notice what you notice and settle into this space, kind of at a soul to soul. And if you feel the emotions coming up, that's okay. Just breathe through them, allow them to continue to flow through you, to stay in motion. Emotions really only become painful when we try to stifle them. But if you can, just stay in your space and breathe them through your body. Allow them to move through you and release. And allow yourself to feel what you feel. Allow your thoughts to flow through as well in the same way. Just feel your connection with these souls from the soul to soul. Just feel your connections. Feel the flow between you. Right? Everything is one divine flow, one divine orchestration, one divine motion, one ocean. The ripples and the currents and the tides flowing through the ocean, through all of the open cups. And is there a question on your heart? I'll offer the question of what have your souls come here to learn from each other? And just notice and receive what have your souls come here to learn from each other. Continue to breathe through that back of your heart and receive through that place. And let your mind be an inquiry and witnessing. And just notice the new page in the book that you haven't read before and what is being written. And if you want at this time, if you have a pen and paper, you can take a minute and write it down. We are here to learn. And take a minute and write it down. Give it just a little bit more in the silence for you to write. And you can ask the question, What am I here to give through these relationships with this soul cluster? I am here to give. And if you're writing, let that be your writing prompt, or just let it be written into your psyche, into your consciousness. I am here to give. I am here to give. And the next question, what are you here to receive? What are you here to receive? And your writing prompt can be, I am here to receive. I am here to receive. And if there is any other question on your heart, perhaps about purpose and fulfillment, about what remains, anything you're here to do or to be, and allow yourself to receive, again, leaning back into that back of the heart, be with that breath, and receive and let the message be written through you. Another Rumi quote: "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." If there are any of those barriers that want to be released at this time, let them move with the flow and be released from your body, from your mind, from your heart, and from your soul. And just notice in this soul connection here, if there's any kind of movement that wants to happen, any kind of like soul level healing, restructuring, repatterning, soul evolution. And just allow that to move you and just open your heart and say yes as best you can and allow it. Just allow yourself to be healed and to receive. You may even notice a repatterning of the whole soul cluster as it moves together and heals together and evolves together. If you feel yourself moving, being energetically repatterned, restructured, just breathe through it and say yes. Letting go of the constriction, of the pain, of the discomforts, of the blocks and the barriers, and allowing yourself to be transformed into higher light, more love, more ease. Allow yourself to be elevated, releasing your attachments to who you've been, where you've come from, what your relationships have been, and allow yourself to land into a new place. And now, just let yourself rest into this new space. Let this vibration of whatever vibration is moving through you, let invite your cells to open and take in this information, take in this new template, this new pattern. And again, breathe all of your energy into your vertical core and let yourself drop down and land into your pelvic bowl, land into your hips, anchor into that center of gravity at the center of your pelvic bowl, your sacral center. Let this energy, let your energy move down through your hips and through your legs, all the way down and into your feet. Take a minute and stretch out your feet, stretch your toes, circle your ankles, and feel your feet on the ground. Same time you can move your shoulders, circle your shoulders, and stretch out your arms, and circle your wrists and stretch out your fingers, and feel your presence in the palms of your hands and the tips of your fingers. And again, land into those hips. Feel your weight landing into your pelvic bowl. And lean into your spine, upright your spine. Circle your neck, your head. Feel your presence in your body. And again, letting this vibration, this new vibration, transmit into every cell, the consciousness held within every cell of every fiber of your being. Now just ask, with the people in your life that you're still on this earth traveling with, these soul bodies, souls in bodies, just ask, what is your new relationship with these people? And let yourself rest into that. And just notice. And if you want a writing prompt on that, with my cluster of embodied souls, I am here too. Let that be open-ended. I am here too. And for whatever you have received today and whatever you have released or transformed, is let your heart bow in gratitude and in reverence for your source, for the greater cosmic orchestration and orchestrator. And let yourself just bow in gratitude and let every cell of your body, as every cell carries consciousness, let them consciously bow in gratitude and receive even deeper and deeper and deeper to anchor in the new energy, the new template, the new transformation into every fiber of your being. Because it's one thing to have an idea, a cognitive idea. It's another thing to completely embody it all the way into every cell, all the way into the center of your bones, all the way into your central nervous system, through all of your energy centers. Just let it be embodied. Kun fayakun, be and it is. Be and it is. Be and it is. Okay. And with that, I'm going to bring this to a close and open for Q&A. If you're listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive the reminders and replays. And Bismillah. When you do, you receive 2 free gifts. One is a downloadable one sheet that is the 10 spiritual principles of our human existence, a reminder of who we are, what we are, why we're here, what this earth journey is about. The other one is a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that I hope that you will make a part of your daily practice. And what am I trying to say? Yeah, to remember the truth of who and what you are, that pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. That is the core of your being. All right, with that, I thank you very much for being here. Look forward to seeing you next week and opening now for Q&A. If you're on the